Good morning, folks. We're at the highest point in Mount Charleston that we can possibly go. Look like we got quite a bit of snow. To my right is where the tavern was. It had burned down about 2 years ago. Some of these lodges still have Christmas lights up, which is pretty cool. Right now the temperature is at 21 degrees. It's a little chilly compared to where it is down in Vegas. Well, Charleston has some very beautiful sights. A lot of hiking trails. At the present, those trails are closed due to the weather, snow. I come up probably once a year, twice a year. Definitely once in the wintertime when my car is able to make it. I did it once, I think it was 2 years ago on a Jaguar, and I disobeyed the chain law. I almost got stuck. I was able to turn around and get out of Dodge Wildcat. Black ice we had here. Oh yeah. There was a lot of trucks that tried the same thing without chains, and they literally had to back up 2 miles to get out of it. Okay, up here they do have some very, very beautiful log cabins. If you're into mountainous areas, I am. I do love wilderness. I like to stay warm too, of course. Not used to freezing temps. I mean, I can deal with it as long as you lock me up with some food and all the other amenities that you need when you're up in the hills. We're at 25 miles an hour here. Got a lot of fallen debris, I guess, because of snow melt. Maybe it's dragging some of the loose rocks down. I know I see a lot of deer signs up here, and unfortunately I never encountered a deer. This is the fire department here, voluntary. Still got some snow banks, and maybe a mile or two away from where I just left. It's pretty good snow. We went to Tahoe maybe 3 years ago. Maybe 4, it was before COVID. And that year we went up there, the lake was down 12 feet. So we go back the following year and it filled the lake up. Lake Tahoe, the lake is what I think 22 miles, about 11 miles by 1,600 feet deep. That lake has more water in it than Lake Mead does, believe it or not. I think because of the size of Lake Mead that it would have more water, but it doesn't. Lake Tahoe has 39 trillion gallons of water. Lake Mead is a third of that, or even less, I think. But that's quite significant. Speed limit is now up to 35 miles an hour. Roads are pretty clean. Look maybe like they were salted at one point in time. Temperature right now is 20 degrees. And the date is February 10th. The sun is finally coming up. These cameras are sensitive to light, so it looks kind of like the sun's up all the time, actually. So what do you folks think about cruising? I do this, like I say, once, twice a year, maybe. It's really, for me, it's comforting. I do speed limit, maybe a little less, because it actually relaxes me. There have been times I would, before work, get up 3 hours instead of watching TV or going to a casino. I would cruise down to Baker, turn around and come back. I know that sounds ridiculous, but driving just relaxes me, especially with music. At this time I'm unable to do the music because I don't have YouTube. Now I might add that to the background. We'll see about that. So if you guys haven't been here, I highly recommend that you come during the summer. Winter's cool, but the activities are down. So summertime you can come up hike. They got a few different trails you can hike. Bring plenty of water, food of course, so you don't get hungry, and definitely don't want to get hydrated. Although it's up here, the heat factor won't be as much. This is the lodge. I guess we're going to cruise through it. This is Mount Charleston Lodge. Just do a quick drive through. Whoa, man, this thing is bumpy. I'm kind of scared to go down here, actually. Man, I don't know. My car's a little low, so it definitely wouldn't do good in 3 or 4 inches of snow. Fortunately, the plow just rode, and it hadn't snowed for about 2 weeks since California got hit with all those storms. Lodge Tavern looks pretty empty. Be a nice place to come up during Valentine's, just to get away if you like peace and quiet, or any other day for that matter. Birthdays, just honeymoon, just to kick it with your wife, significant other. Man, one day I have to invest in a truck. This road scares the heck out of me. Goodness. No outlet. So it is bumpy. I probably wouldn't be as frightened to drive it if it was more light. Again, my car is pretty low. Up the road a ways we passed to turn off to Kyle Canyon. It's another gorgeous trip. I'm not gonna go that way. I'm gonna go head back out towards Charleston. I bet it's really snowy up in there. It's a little higher in altitude than where we're at now. And that, if you go that route, that's where the ski resort is also. Another dip. Okay. And then we're heading back to town, Las Vegas, that is. Oh, it's just a city bus. That's a school bus. It's Friday. Oh, wrong side of the road. Look at the sunrise, very beautiful. I like that red tint. This is definitely a picturesque moment. Unfortunately, I'm driving, so I can't do it. But I can slow down and probably. Wow, that's beautiful. The camera doesn't show how beautiful it is. It's filtered down. One of these days, I'll do another cruise up here once it gets warm. It is a very, very beautiful background there. So when I was younger, I had a Slim Mustang, and of course when you're younger you kind of do goofy things. 55 miles an hour, that is, so I would sometimes exceed 55, maybe by 10 miles an hour. They do patrol these roads very well, so if I were you, I wouldn't speed. They tend to give tickets 5-10 miles an hour over. So I highly recommend not speeding up here or driving erratic. They had a convention here with Shelby Mustangs, and a few guys were warned to slow down when they come up. And of course they didn't avoid along, end up getting tickets. It's been pretty peaceful this morning. I haven't seen any patrol cars out yet, but I wouldn't get a ticket anyway because I'm well under speed limit. What do you guys think about living out in the wilderness? A lot of you guys probably do. And there's a lot that like the city life. I mean, I can take it either way. But I would love to get away, have some resort, some little cabin that I can retreat to during, especially the hot months in Colorado. I mean, Las Vegas now. A lot of people have a lot of retreats in Utah because it is quite a different temperature in the summertime than here. Home state is Colorado. I haven't been back for a few years, but it's also pretty nice up there. My background is I went in the military, Navy, and spent 4 years in Yokosuka, Japan. I thought that was very interesting. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't regret one bit of it. Japan is really clean. Of course, from there we did tours. I did tours in the Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea. And it was a blast. For those who've been in the military and traveled, it's a blast. Now, I've never been to the European countries. I really want to go. I want to go when all this mess calms down over there. It's hopefully soon. I'm not going to get get into politics. But unfortunately, they're there right now. It's heavy in the way the country's ran, and we'll see. Things have changed. Hare Springs Road. There's a road that goes in these hills here. I'll slow down just so you can see. I did go back there once. It's right to the right here. And I went 4 or 5 miles in a truck, of course, and turned around. I didn't see anybody else out there. I was just exploring a little bit. I'm not sure if you can camp out there or not. If you want a secluded area, that's the way to go. I know a lot of guys go to Dumont Dunes during this time of year because the weather's perfect for them. It's not hot and crowded. A lot of people say during the summertime it's overcrowded. People get drunk, they act erratic, and so a lot of them stay here and let the drunks go up by themselves. Well, in a group of hundreds, literally more than that, actually. Our temperature now is at 29 degrees. I'm not sure what our altitude is. I know before it was headed up, we was at 7,000, I think. At one point, I think we probably got up to 7,500. I'm not quite sure, but it's up there. Speed limit 45. Traffic's very light. I think this is maybe the third vehicle I've seen coming up. There's one place I want to go. I'm going to go to Virginia. I want to go to New York for one day, just to visit and get out. That place is truly very busy. So in and out for me would be fine. But for those who haven't been in Niagara Falls, I think should go. We went there. We went to Pittsburgh first. Stayed in Pittsburgh and see the preseason game. Then we rented a car, went up, drove up to Niagara Falls, and then drove to Cleveland, went to the Rock Hall of Fame. Pretty nice. Went to Cleveland Stadium. This was during, I want to say, November. So the weather wasn't super cold. The falls is pretty cool though. I think never been there, you should go during the summertime though. Waterfall's cool. The mist is really cool. People were neat. Drove to Buffalo a little bit. Didn't explore too much of Buffalo. But Niagara Falls we did. Pittsburgh we did. Never been there, and just wanted to see what it looks like, and it's very beautiful in the summertime. Very beautiful. Thing I will say though, if you rent a car and you do plan on driving, I would get the pre-toll paid at the rental car center, due to the fact that we rented a car. They asked us, I said no, I think we'll be okay, but man, we must have hit 6 or 7 tolls on the way there. And same thing coming back. So at $5 or $6, we're looking around $60 when I think we could have paid. I think we could have paid 40 or 50 bucks, so that saved us 10 bucks. Still then. Went out to a couple of places to eat in Pittsburgh, and they had some great food. I can't really recall the name. One of them was by the stadium, but can't recall the name. In Niagara Falls, we just did the typical food. I know we rented a room for 2 days. We get there the first day, and they rented our room out. This was Hotwire. They rented the room out because we got there late. And the front desk kind of smirked. I'm like, this is unfair. We didn't contact Hotwire. We just proceeded and rented another room. I didn't even feel like complaining at the time because I started driving. We just got a room and relaxed. And we changed rooms from that one to the hotel we originally rented, which I think was a Hyatt. So on your bouts, just make sure that you contact the hotel and tell them you're going to be late. That's in most cases because they will rent those rooms out. Which I thought was unfair. But at that time we wasn't argumentative, so we stayed away from calling Hotwire. And again, we rented one. It wasn't bad. Again, the sunset's really beautiful here. You can see the outline of the mountains. Really nice. So as we get closer to I-95, if I was to make a left, we'd end up going towards Indian Springs, Hawthorne, and all those other spots up here, like traveling to Reno or Tahoe. I wish I was, but at this moment I'm not. I'm just doing a video for you folks out there to enjoy, hopefully. We're close to I-95. Temperature is now at 32 degrees. Now I'm traveling at about 55 miles an hour. What I used to like doing is coming to the mountains, especially when I was younger. Up in Colorado, we would go to Pikes Peak. That's where I'm from, born and raised. And we'll have a picnic and such up there. That's another nice mountain to visit. We went up there and went to Seven Falls, Royal Gorge, a few other spots. Traveled to Denver, and man, Denver's a juggernaut. I mean, the traffic is bad as, almost as bad as LA. I tell you, I honestly don't think I can live in Denver. Due to traffic, just like I would never move to LA. San Francisco, I can recall a time from San Francisco. We came from Redwood National Forest now. Again, that's a place you should visit. But to head off the story that I was speaking of, we left San Francisco, and it was back-to-back traffic for 50 miles. It took us 6.5 hours. Well, of course, by the time we got in San Francisco from Redwood National Forest, it's probably 1 o'clock, 1:30 p.m. And we did the church thing, and then when we left there it was 3. So that was rush hour. Everybody works in San Fran, then they drive back to Stockton or Sacramento, one of those. But they literally do this every day, 6 hours one way. I don't know if it was a special holiday. I don't think so. I'm thinking this is typical. Redundant. I cannot do that. I get frustrated in Vegas traffic, and it's nothing compared to the cities I've mentioned. Arizona's nice. I couldn't live in Arizona though. I was to move away from the state. For a while it was Miami. But that since have changed. Miami, in my opinion, is just a vacation spot. And the reason I say that is because they have way too many storms. And these storms are hurricanes basically. And you see so many people experiencing 3 or 4 hurricanes and don't have insurance. For one, I think their insurance is right up there with their mortgage. It's just outrageous. A lot of insurers left that state because it's driving them bankrupt. So, for me, Florida's a visitation. A lot of my brothers live in Nashville. I think I've been there, and it's beautiful there too. That's a good thought for me. One of my thoughts, anyway, is to move there. It's nice. It's getting up there in price, so like every other place you want to go to nowadays. The housing is becoming outrageous, where most people can't even afford it. So I think that's ridiculous. Now here, they got these houses that's pre-made, and I think they're $150,000 for the structure. It's not including the land. Now, it's reasonable if you can get the land for $100,000 or less, then you're not paying for $500,000 like what these the average home I think is $450 here. I think that's steep, especially if you're not employed and making a lot of money at some of these casinos. So, I mean, if you're 18, 20 bucks an hour, that's tough. If you got your family doing it, maybe it won't be so bad. Well, the camera's not going to show the lights and all, but it's one day I'd invest in one of those cameras that'll give you every detail there is. At the present time, I am using my cell phone. It will get me by until I can afford to buy something else. Yeah, I remember a time when Vegas, the housing wasn't built up towards 95 and the turnoff going up to Charleston, but there it is now. What gets me is we have no water and they're building like crazy. It's amazing. I mean, how they doing this and why. I know it's to keep jobs and keep the taxes up, and so there's a lot of factors that play a role in why they continue building homes and hotels, apartment buildings. Granted, we do need the hotels because the jobs are there. We're now about to get on I-95 southbound. Temperatures at 34 degrees. The sun haven't peaked over the hills yet, but it's almost there. So we got a little bit of night driving, and now we're headed into morning driving, or daylight I should say. Now these are the homes. You probably can't see it in the camera, but to my right we have Sky Canyon Parkway or Drive. This is pretty fresh development. I think it's under 3 or 4 years old. It's beautiful. They got a lot of stuff up here. But it's just amazing how it was way down there 5 to 10 miles, and now it's way up here. It's kind of like Colorado Springs and Denver. You drive from Colorado Springs to Denver now, and it's almost connected. You drive from Colorado Springs to Monument, it's connected. From Monument to Castle Rock is connected, of course. Then you've got Castle Rock to Denver. It's all almost connected all the way through. I don't think they did anything to the freeways, at least. I don't know. It's been a few years since I've been there. Maybe they expanded the lanes. Here, when they do construction on these freeways, I think they do it as it comes. They're not prepared for a future. This place is still growing, and they're building it as it stands, not as it will be for the future. I know it, and it's a cost. But if you see a town that's getting populated like this, some freeways, some of the roads should be overdone. That way, when that catches up, it won't be such a bad impact. They just did I-15, right? And that traffic is still kind of backed up. My idea of modernizing freeways is to make it to where it's steadily flowing at the rated speed, which is 55. But I know it's all money. Hopefully our new governor will look into it. He should be a pretty fair fellow to work with. I know as in Metro, he's a pretty calm fellow. I do have a couple nieces and nephews that's in the law enforcement at Metro, and they seem to think it's pretty nice. He's pretty nice, so we'll see how far this goes. I'm sure it'll go a long ways. Well, okay, I am pretty much getting closer to town. My temperature's at 38. Somewhere off in there. A lot more cars on the freeway due to everyone heading to work. I might be driving a little slow. Maybe I should pick it up a little bit. Vegas has grown a lot. As you can see, a lot of these flyovers wasn't there before. Now we got a lot of flyovers because North Vegas is growing, Angels is growing, up here towards Charleston is growing, Seven Hills, Anthem, everywhere around surrounding Vegas is still building homes. Fountain Blue's about to open up. And then you got Hard Rock that's going to redo the Mirage, unfortunately, for those employees. I'm sure a lot of them have already left. Soon there won't be too many jobs left there until they get done with the remodel and construction, which I don't think it ends until 2025. That's a long time to be out of work. So for those who've never been to Nashville, put in perspective, if you drive down one major street in Vegas, you're probably going to run into 2 or 3 Walmarts. If you drive down streets in Nashville or spots in Tennessee, you're bound to run into none unless you GPS it. Nashville has weird roads too. I mean, their public streets has gutters on both sides. Don't really have a sidewalk like we do. Even though we complain about some of these neighborhoods with one sidewalk and the streets are small, they still have a drainage system, which Nashville relies on their gutters. So if you accidentally drive off the road and it's flooded, you're going to be in a little small creek. So anything in that place gets quite a bit of rain, storms, maybe a tornado here and there, but they at times get floods. We was fortunate enough to get floods this year. We got flooded down there at Caesars and a few of the spots on the strip. So yeah, I hope we get more rain, but in smaller quantities. I love the rain. I don't like the heat as much. That's one reason why I wouldn't mind moving, because of the heat factor. Plus, the way your power bills are going up. So when fuel levels prices go down, are they going to drop the prices? I bet you 100% that they won't. So a lot of the things that's happening now, if you ask me, it's corporate greed. You look around the world and you see all these people, billions of dollars. Now, hey, that's what they do. But they lay off and jack the prices up. Kind of hard to fathom how the country's so successful. It's starting to fall down quite a bit because of corporate greed, and where they're shipping all their money to. Again, I'm not talking politics. A lot of you guys, a lot of you people know exactly what I'm talking about when I say they're corporate greed, and if the money's just not spent here for the employees. Yeah, that costs a little more money, but the money be here in our country. Well, I'm close to the destination. I will end this video right back at downtown. I haven't been downtown really in a while. I just started my video there. Maybe the next video I'll start on the strip and head another direction, like I-15 northbound. It's not really much to see except for if you go to Moapa Valley, fireworks. We're going on up into Mesquite. Hey, that might be a good idea. It's about 70 miles away. It might be the next one. Let's start on I-15. Cruise up there. What I really had to do is I changed some parts on the car. I had to change the mass air meter, front and after O2 sensors, and when I changed them, this check engine light stayed on. Now I don't know what happened, but for you Beamer drivers, these cars will reset if you get all the correct parts, because my car reset and the check engine light hadn't come back on. I don't know if it takes a while for that computer to compute that it has all the right components in there working in a proper manner or what, but it's reset itself and it's running perfectly. I did have a transmission issue. What I think it was, I had the level a little high and it must have got into that valve body, which is causing those ball bearings to not move the way they're supposed to. So the tranny was able to come up and put me in limp mode. But since I drained it out, it seems to be purring like a kitten. Knock on wood. Beamers run good, they run good. When they go bad, it's going to cost you a lot of money unless you know how to do it yourself. I work on my cars all myself, so I try to create content for people so they don't have to take it to a dealership to get it fixed. For my particular year, it's 2003. I had a leak, a water leak, come from the center of the motor, and these cars have what you would call a transfer hose. What this hose does is transfer fluid from forward to aft, and it's aluminum, so that aluminum will go back. So I took it to Beamer, BMW, got a quote. They said, well, sir, this will cost you around $6,000. And I thought, what? $6,000? So I did some research. I did look at a few YouTubers that gave me some helpful hints. YouTube is the best thing for people that work on cars. It directed me to buying a collapsible stainless steel hose. And once you get it in, you uncollapse it, have a bunch of O-rings, stretch it out, and you here go into one slot and then go to the other. Besides the O-rings, I also added a little bit of silicone to add that extra sealant, and from that point I never had an issue with that. Had a few oil leaks. I fixed them as well. One of them I had to jack the engine up. I had to drop the K-member down, move the I had to remove the alternator holding bracket casing as well. It took me about 3 or 4 days, so I didn't exactly know what I was doing. I had to figure it out on the fly. Wish I would have recorded it. I like to make short videos to where people hopefully understand what's going on. There's some extended videos that help. I did look at a few of those just to get me through. So it's whatever your preference is. There's a lot of guys out there that produce a lot of good content. And I happen to look at a lot of them. I mean, long, short, whatever it is, it's going to give me a little education on how to fix the car or cars that I'm working on. Temperature right now is 41 degrees. We're almost downtown. I'm still doing 60 miles an hour. I'm not in a big hurry. Still got to watch for people driving around you though. You got some doozies out here. Oh boy. I'm supposed to go straight. But I made a mistake. Maybe we won't end it on there. We won't end it on downtown. We can see it from here. Where am I? Okay. Wish I could get over. There's things, you know, when I was younger, I was very aggressive. So I would make my way over, trying to press the gas, but my reactions was a lot better now. I mean, then than they are now, so I had to slow down quite a bit because I don't respond like I used to. As you get older, that response, unless you practice it a lot, it goes away. So that's why I tend to drive a lot slower. Sometimes I'm very timid. I won't get any road rage. What I do now is a peace sign. If it's my fault, I'll thumb me, as if I'm at fault, and I'll give the guy a wave, and hopefully defuse a situation that can get out of hand. Especially when you don't know what these people are capable of doing. So my suggestion to you is to peace out. It may be hard to do, but peace out. My wife's, there was a few months ago, she cussing at this person, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I looked over at the dude, and I threw the peace sign, he threw it back, and he just started giggling because he probably has a woman that does the same thing. Up there's a strip, guys, if you can see that. Resorts World, all the rest of the casinos, Trump Tower. We're going to exit on Sahara. I'll probably head somewhere and get something to eat. Maybe one of the restaurants, no names mentioned. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd like to produce content. I'm new at the YouTube channel, so if you wouldn't mind liking and of course subscribing, I'll try to make more content. Some of these videos, this wasn't super expensive. I mean, gas is the only thing I had to do. Oh, they closed Sahara down. Eastbound, that is. Wow. And it's backed up. Yeah, that part of it takes you to Sahara too. That's why they must have construction going on. So here we are at Paula Station. Not that I'm going there, but this is a turnoff. I think it was a pretty relaxing cruise going up. Up was a more quiet pace, no talk video. For those who like riding and sleeping. My wife, she sleeps, but she won't sleep as often. She watches my driving, I tell you that. And she tells me to back off that throttle, I back off. I and will not sleep with her driving either. She scares me to death sometimes. Boy, she will not drive going to Colorado because she don't like taking all those corners and turns and things of that nature. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna cut the video short. I hope you enjoyed the time with me, and I hope to produce more of these videos. Again, I'm new at YouTube. I watch a lot of you guys' channels. I don't know what kind of video I'm gonna make next. I got some ideas in my head of what I'm gonna make. I hope you guys continue to follow me. Maybe share a little bit of ideas if you want. Peace out. I love you guys. Bye.